25-18 as we get set to begin the second half of action here at Jadwin Gym with the Princeton Tigers up on top of the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. A couple other games we're keeping an eye on for you. Scores of interest: Temple trailing Wisconsin. That game at home for Temple, down by 3 in the second half, and a game with very, very big Five implications. Villanova on top of LaSalle, 40-36 at halftime. Wildcats hang on there. Just do a little mental arithmetic and realize they've only played 3 Big Five games, but they would have clinched at least a share of the Big Five title because everybody else will have a loss at the end of tonight.
And 3 consecutive games against Big Five teams. Just like the old days, getting back into the full round robin.
Boy, talk about doing it expediently, though. 3 games and that's it.
You know, get it done early, see what goes on. Villanova's a very good, solid team.
They will have 1 left after tonight against Penn in February.
Yeah, we saw them have a terrific game against St. Joe's. Phil Martelli's team showing you that they're a team to be reckoned with in postseason play as well.
There's Greer, not a part of things in the first half. Kent missed on the tip follow. And out of the pack with the basketball are the Tigers.
Another offensive rebound for Rutgers, but nothing to show for it.
John Thompson told Mick Moninghoff going into halftime they had to limit their second chance opportunities, and Rutgers had a good look at one on the first play of the second half.
You see Rutgers now in the man-to-man defense just trying to pick up the pace a little bit.
Well, this is where this guy becomes dangerous. Walton into the lane. That sweeping hook shot does not fall, and Sherrod with a rebound off the floor.
And this is a tempo Rutgers has got to try and get playing at. Pick up the pace.
You don't think 18 for the first half is what they were looking for? And Kent is fouled on the way inside. That foul call is going to go against Eugene Ba. That'll be his 3rd. And what it does is it sends Rashad Kent to the free throw line, a place that has been a veritable house of horrors for him. He's 13 for 34 from the line on the year. That is just 38%.
The problem is he's put up god-awful numbers like that in each of his seasons. He shot the ball better from the field than from the line. So anytime you foul him when he's going to score inside, it's a smart foul.
Missed badly on that one.
Ouch. And it's obviously a mental thing. You see him shoot around in warm-ups and stuff. He's a pretty good shooter. You get a violation.
Wow.
He doesn't even get a chance to throw it up on the backboard.
Well, they walk away without anything from that foul on the inside. Seven-point game opening 2 minutes of the second half. Berger, good backcourt cut for Walton, but Walton lost the handle on it, and it's the 4th turnover for the Tigers.
You heard Kevin Bannon talking to Mick at the half right there about how his team had to do something defensively to disrupt Princeton. That's one of the few times where we've seen them really overplay, force the backdoor, but they disrupted their offense.
Because Walton was catching, not throwing. Wide open is Billett for a 3. If that's not going to sit, it's going to be a tough night for him. Oksani pulls his way back up and can't get it to fall. Right now, there is a lid on the basket for the Scarlet Knights. They're going to hang on to it.
That possession sums up their offense. Billett getting open shots, unable to put them in. Getting after it on the offensive glass, but nothing to show for it.
Trying to get more aggressive, quicker in the pace. Sherrod just the guy to do that. Big step to the hoop by Greer, but he's called for the offensive foul. First foul on Greer, and that's trying to get something started, maybe trying to force something a bit too much for Jeff Greer.
Greer held scoreless in the first half. We said he came in averaging over 21 a game in his last 2, so he and Billett, their 2 top scorers, have been silent here throughout this first half and now into the second.
Aggressive man-to-man defense, picking players up out a little bit closer to half court, forcing that backdoor cut. And Greer gets his 2nd foul called on him in 20 seconds as he held on to Bechtold, cutting down the lane. Two and a half minutes here into the second half without a point. Persia on Rashad. And that's going to be make that Sherrod, and he ends up getting the foul call on the hand check. So that's 3 fouls in, I believe, 26 seconds.
Got 14 fouls on the board, no points here in the second half.
Not a lot to be said for pace of play right now, but Princeton has always been good at disrupting that.
They play so differently than any other team you're going to see during the season. It really makes it hard to prepare for them.
Baugh steps out for a 3. That's a brick. And Kent down with the basketball. Long pass up ahead. Oksani got a hand on it. And it last touched him before going out. He says, come on.
I think it's a good call. Take a look here. Oksani trying to go up, and would have been a difficult pass to handle. Clearly didn't hit anybody. Good call by the officials.
7th turnover on the Scarlet Knights. About 3:10 here into the second half without a point scored. Persia waiting for Sherrod to go by and drain the 2-point jumper. So after 3 minutes and 20 seconds scoreless, the Princeton lead matching their game high at 9.
Come on, admit it. You were rooting for that ball to go in so someone would score here in a second.
And now a hand check foul called on the inside. And Bechtold is called for the personal. That's his 3rd.
And 3 fouls, and I tell you what, he has not gotten a lot of body on any of those 3 fouls.
Dillon and Greer, little 2-man game on the outside, and Persia is called for the reach-in.
They're calling a little tighter here in the second half, trying to clean up the hand checking outside. Oof.
6 fouls in less than 4 minutes. Each team with 3. Dillon found his spot in the lane, pulled the string a little too hard. And the rebound into the hands of Oksani. There's Sherrod. And he finally gets one to fall. So nearly 4 minutes scoreless for Rutgers to begin the half. They're back within 7, and Sherrod's got 10.
He's been the guy that's picked up the scoring with Billett struggling, Greer struggling. It's the freshman. He's got half their points.
Timer now. Walton working Kent, and Kent called for the elbow in the back of Nate Walton. That's going to be Kent's 2nd, and the team's 4th. So everybody's got an opportunity now to kind of settle things down a bit and try to get back into some kind of a playing rhythm. It's been a foul-plagued early second half. The halftime margin remains.
We are back here at Princeton. I'm joined by Bill Walton. Where'd your son learn to pass like that, Bill?
Certainly not from me, Mick, because I was the biggest gunner out there all the time. All I wanted to do was shoot every time. But a dad could not be more proud of a son than I am of Nathan Walton, who has just become a man here at Princeton. And it has just been so great to see him grow up, see him mature, see him be part of the special Princeton family here. And what Gary Walters, the athletic director, and what John Thompson Jr. have done has just been absolutely remarkable. I am so happy, so proud. I'm almost 7 feet tall today. That's how good I feel. The Tigers are playing magnificent basketball. Hopefully they'll be able to hold on and get a victory against a tough Rutgers team tonight.
Bill Walton, my pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Nick, thanks so much, and just have a great night of college basketball here. Wonderful to see all the families and the kids here. A lot of fun and great basketball. Thanks, Mick.
Gentlemen.
Thank you, Mick. Our thanks to Bill Walton as well. It's like Billett got caught in the eye on the way through the lane. That would compound any further problems. And Baugh is going to get called for his 4th foul, so he's going to come out of the ball game. There's also team foul number 4. Eugene Baugh, who's not gotten a whole lot done here this evening, leaves with 15 minutes and 15 seconds left. He's only got 2 points. Also, Bechtold going to come out of the game, and Kyle Wente back in the game for Princeton. Bechtold with 3 fouls. There's Billett again. Greer stepping out. Got it.
Oh, great ball movement. A lot crisper on offense that possession, able to get a quick reversal for the open look.
Four-point ball game. Bechtold and El Natali not on the floor right now. Princeton is very young.
And this is where Rutgers really needs to turn up the defensive pressure to see if they can become disruptive.
Two freshmen and a sophomore on the floor at the same time. There's his senior in Chapman. A little bit too much. And the rebound kept alive. Great hustle by Andre Logan. Princeton gets a fresh shot clock.
See Rutgers really starting to push out though and put some ball pressure.
Those open looks that were there in the first half have virtually disappeared. Under 14 left to play now. In and out for Logan. Got his own rebound. And he traveled with the basketball. Sixth turnover. Joe Lindsay calling the travel on Andre Logan.
Andre Logan flying all over the place. Good cut right here. Got himself an easy look. Unable to get it to fall, but stays with it. Finally comes up with the offensive rebound. Looked like he put the ball to the floor. They say he shuffled his feet.
I didn't see the travel.
Neither did I. Looked like he put it to the floor.
There's Billett. Just 2 for his last 22 from the floor. Kent's shot is blocked by guess who? Logan.
Oh, great outside defense to recover over.
And Logan takes it back to the top. Pace of play right now and the style of this game right now at this point in the second half definitively favors Princeton.
It's been like that all game long. They came out and set the tempo right from the get-go.
Shot clock at 10. Long range for Persia, drains the three.
Perfect execution. They get the backdoor cut, which gets the defense to suck into the lane, and the screener steps out wide open and shows himself from 3.
He's got 8 points now. Can't play in a little triangle with Aksani down low. And the foul call will be on the inside on Logan, his second, team's 5th.
When they've gotten the ball inside to the low post, it's been from that high-low action. Kent showing he can feed the post as well.
Got a whole lot of shooting going on, pal.
As many fouls as points just about.
Greer wanted the screen from Kent, and Kent's going to get called for the foul, stepping out too late for the illegal screen. His 3rd.
And boy, have we talk about teams making adjustments at halftime. The officials have made an adjustment. They have really come out and picked up the pace with the whistle. I don't know if they thought there was too much holding and grabbing going on in the first half, and that's why teams didn't score, but they have certainly been quick with the whistle.
Quicker still. Sherrod gets his 2nd. That's team foul number 6. I'll tell you what, we are going to see a lot of free throws here late in this game.
And if that's the case, that's certainly to Princeton's benefit, a much better foul shooting team than Rutgers.
72% to 61% coming into the night tonight. Only been 5 foul shots in the entire game, and only 1's been made. Once again, the passing out on the perimeter. Looking for a cutter. Walton wide open for 3. That shot is off. Logan kept the rebound alive again. And they say that Chapman dribbled it on the sideline. 7th turnover for the Tigers. And the ball goes back to Rutgers when we come back. A closer look at that play as Chapman had it over at the sideline. There's the dribble and a correct call by John Cahill. Right now, Princeton trying to hold down the score. They've done a super job of that and still lead it by 7.
I'm CNA meteorologist Robin Stevens. A return to season.
7-point ball game with less than 12 minutes to go. No, the score is not a misprint. It has been held down for a lot of reasons. And you see Rutgers, the season average, they are going to struggle to get anywhere near that, maybe within 20 points of it tonight.
We talked about it earlier. It's so hard to prepare for Princeton, who plays so different than any other team that you're going to play in the season. You can't really devote a ton of time for how you're going to attack them.
With each timeout, Rutgers has come out trying something. They need to get Billett on, and finally he hits.
That's a big shot right there. Good screen in to free him up. They've got to set good screens to get him open look.
He had been 1 for 9 before that shot.
And it was just 2 of 12 last year against Princeton, so they've done a good job negating him in each of his first 2 seasons so far.
Four-point ball game. On the inside, the open look, Chapman to Walton. 7 points now for Nate Walton.
And he dragged through with his left hand to avoid the defense on his strong side. There, Kevin Bannon on the sideline. Move it. He wants to get players moving, the ball moving.
Way too much for Oksani from the outside, but Rutgers gets the loose basketball.
A little quicker right now and not so sluggish offensively. They just can't put the ball in the basket.
That's Dabney from the baseline. Trying to trick Rutgers into believing the shot clock is winding down. Billett, that quick release again, and a little bit too much. Look at the fight from Greer for the rebound of the putback.
Well, just great individual effort right there by Jeff Greer, trying to step up and give his team some energy, tracking the ball down off the offensive board.
He now has 5.
That's what they need, a little life, somebody to step forward and make a couple plays to get momentum change. Pretty soon, John Thompson has to start thinking about putting Bechtel back into the game, even with the foul trouble.
And wind it down now on the shot clock. There's only 5 left as they will be forced to inbound again. The quick hand of Sherrod knocking the ball out. Logan, take to the hole. Got it. Running left-handed shot.
With 1 second on the shot clock. Looks good putting the ball to the floor and getting there.
Freshman out of Poly Prep in Brooklyn, and he has the look of a very good one here early in his career, playing just his 7th game.
Yeah, he and Persia both good-looking freshmen.
Sherrod left wide open.
Scouting report says he can't shoot the ball from deep, so they don't come out and challenge. He's trying to prove the scouting report wrong.
Leading his team in all scorers with 12 here. And remember, Princeton has never trailed in this game. Tigers regularly working it down to 10. The driving shot won't fall for Wente.
He got there, just got to be able to finish.
Here's that pace that Rutgers wants to play, and Greer, oh, they're going to give him the basket. Wow, chance at a 3-point play for Jeff Greer.
Oh boy, and John Thompson's not happy with that, and why should he be? That was a mad scramble right there. Well, NBA continuation, you see the ball come loose. They don't get the traveling call. He picks it up. That ball was bouncing around for a while. When he finally got it, they gave him the foul.
Greer can't cap off the 3-point play, but the rebound tapped out. Now try to turn it into a 4-point trip. And they do. The tip in from Oksani.
Well, starting to wear him down on the offensive glass. Finally starting to get some of those putbacks. They've got this game tied up.
They were down by as many as 9, and Thompson calls for the timeout now with 8:21 left to go here in the ball game. Second chance points, something Princeton needed to limit, and Rutgers has 13 of them.
It could be more if they made a couple of those easy putbacks, but now starting to wear them down. making some headway off the offensive boards.
Well, you know, with this timeout, Rutgers wants to keep the momentum going. They would prefer not to be in this. It was called by Thompson. And on the other side, for Princeton, this has got to be an opportunity, you would assume, to be thinking about getting Bechtold back in.
I think you got to get him back in. Bill, at that time, coming off the nice screen by Axani, able to get just a little bit of an open look. We said starting to wear him down on the offensive glass. The initial miss, but nobody gets a body on Axani, able to come through. Tap it in with the left hand.
14 offensive rebounds for the Scarlet Knights.
And still no Bechtold with just the 3 fouls, and his team really struggling offensively. Elects to keep both he and Ba, 2 of his starters, on the bench. Ba with the 4 fouls, Bechtold with just 3.
Well, the momentum clearly on the side of Rutgers, a mini 6-0 run.
And a pace as well with Rutgers right now.
Block shot. They're going to call it a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Princeton. Now they just reset that shot clock. They're going to have to put it back to 4 seconds as that ball never touched the rim. So a timeout on the floor, and Rutgers continues on the momentum swing. They have tied this game up after trailing by 9 here in the second half. Stronger offense and a little bit more aggressive defensively as well, as the Scarlet Knights have tied it. 34-34. A little bit less than 8 minutes to go here at Jadwin Gym. The game that Tigers have never trailed, the Scarlet Knights have never led. Jeff Greer, bouncing back with a bigger second half after being shut out in the first half, has helped to lead the charge. He'll take a break now. 4 seconds left for the Tigers to shoot. Logan's got to get rid of it. Got it on the rim, but Thompson clears the board, and now Rutgers a chance for their first lead in the game. Gerard right around El McCauley, but he's got his shot changed. And the ball out of bounds, back over to Princeton.
Again, though, you see how quick Rutgers is to the basketball. Defensively, we've seen him put some more pressure. We've also seen him do it on the offensive glass. Quickness by Sherrod to get by the first defender. Logan doing a terrific job off the bench, able to come over and challenge defensively. Princeton with an opportunity to regain the lead.
El McCauley, a pretty give and go.
Nice shot as well to avoid Billett, who is stepping under. Once again, the terrific pass by Walton, always finding people cutting to the basket.
There's Sherrod. And they kick back out. Billett can't get it. Kent, the offensive rebound. Another one for the Scarlet Knights.
Not to keep hammering the point, but they got to keep them off the glass.
Thompson going to work on Logan. Dangerous cross-court pass, and Billett in traffic has his shot tomahawked by Logan, but the contact came early.
Talked earlier about Billett's ability to draw fouls, puts the ball to the floor, forces the action, came into the game with 52 attempts from the line. He knows how to get himself to the charity stripe.
Bechtold came in and just got hit for his 4th foul. There's Billett hitting on the first, another try coming. There's his brother, Jeff Billett, former Rutgers star. Wisconsin has beaten Temple tonight. LaSalle has taken the lead on Villanova in the second half. We'll get you updated on that one as we can. Billett hits the pair and re-knots the game up at 36 as Greer checks back in.
That was a quick rest for Greer. And Billett will get a quick rest right now to try and see if he can get fresh legs.
Well, Bechtold is playing with 4, and he has not been a factor really in any way offensively tonight.
Remember, coming into the game, he scored 12 or more in each of their first 6 games.
Good look for Walton. He was too far under the hoop when he got it. Princeton always patient beyond the fall. Logan, long range. Can't get it to sit. And now another opportunity for the Scarlet Knights to take their first lead of the game. Coming up on the 6-minute mark, left to go. Billett sitting. There's not that outside threat that they're used to seeing. He'll be back in at the next whistle. Shot clock at 10. Thompson lost the handle. Inside to Ken. Walton got in the way. Scramble for the basketball. And a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Rutgers, but they've only got 2 seconds left to shoot.
That's one of those situations. If you don't get the tie-up, you probably get a shot clock violation. Ball's all over the place. Nobody can get a handle on it. Good defense and denial right there by Walton.
Substitution number 22, Tom Billett. There are 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, you're Kevin Bannon. What kind of options you have? You got Billett back in, but he's key in the inbound.
You got to look at Greer coming off the screen from Dabney.
Nice catch by Greer, but he can't get the shot airborne, and it is a shot clock violation.
Well, instead of coming off the screen, they just lobbed it up to him. Had an opportunity to score inside. Brought the basketball down, allowed the defense to get a hand in.
The lead in this game is something that has just eluded Rutgers all night long. They've had 4 or 5 possessions in which they could have taken the lead and have not. Backdoor cut. Walton finds the open man again. And Logan has to kick back out. Walton again to Logan, and that's another assist for Walton, his 6th.
Terrific movement without the basketball by Logan to flash along the baseline. And you know what? If you show yourself to Nate Walton, he'll find you.
Billett back to work. And now Greer. Have you even heard Rashad Kent's name?
Not in a long time, although he's trying to fight for position inside.
Sherrod missed, Kent the tip in.
And that's where he can get it. If they're not able to throw it in the offense, he's got to go get it on the offensive glass.
Coming up on 4.5 left in a tie game with neither side at 40 points yet.
Offensive rebounding here in the last few minutes has been Rutgers' best offense.
Another backdoor cut, and Elda Cully. Oh, that's a tough move off the feed from the freshman Logan.
And a great job to take it right off the dribble. That's the only way that pass is made, straight off the bounds.
Sherrod's teammates told him he was going to get beat a couple of times on backdoors tonight. He did right there. Billett, the air ball fielded by Greer, and he'll go to the line for a 2-shot foul. The foul call on C.J. Chapman, his 2nd.
Now Princeton's playing terrific defense on the initial possession. A block right there as they were able to react in timeout to Billett and come up with the block. But it's been Rutgers that's been quicker to every loose ball here in the second half, whether it's off missed shots, offensive rebound opportunities, just a step quicker.
Persia back in, and Greer to the line. Rutgers just 3 for 8 on the night tonight, and trailing this one by 2 points. That one is good. Another try coming for Greer, who has 8, as Sean Aksani comes back into the game, and Eugene Dabney takes a seat. Just 1 out of 2. And still the 1-point lead for the Tigers. Under 4 minutes to play. Second chance points, dominant for Rutgers. And as you said, that's been their best offense.
That number has really picked up here in the second half.
Bechtold, quick hands by Greer to knock it away. Shot clock at 7. No panic on the part of the Tigers. Walton for 3. And a bad shot. Logan got the putback. No. Bob Donato waves it off and says shot clock violation.
Oh, good call. Did not look like the initial shot caught the rim, so you do not get the reset of the shot clock.
Timeout on the floor. Maybe that play didn't work, but the Tigers lead it by 1. They continue to move the ball around like, well, Princeton. 3:28 left to go. Tigers looking for the upset, leading it by a point. 40-39, 3:28 left to go here at Jadwin Gym. And with the changes in college basketball this year, the way they're calling things, it seems to have opened up the offense a lot more. You would never know it by being here tonight.
No, and we've talked so much about Princeton's defense. It's Rutgers' defense here in the second half that's got them back into the game and has picked up their pace.
Well, right now, you have 3.5 minutes left to go, and you've got a defensive struggle. This game very likely not going to get out of the high 40s or maybe low 50s before it is done here tonight. And there you see each team with 3 timeouts. Princeton owns the possession arrow, or in our case, the possession hoop ball.
Look pretty good there.
I like that.
It's their ball.
Exactly. Billett back to work. Rutgers can take the lead. And for the first time tonight, with 3:06 left to go in the game, the Scarlet Knights are on top.
And it's appropriate. It's Sherrod who gets him that first lead. He's done a terrific job leading scorer with 14.
So now under 3 to play. Trying to drive, a blocking foul is going to be called on Sean Oksani. That'll be his second. And that's going to put Rutgers up over the limit. It's going to put Logan on the free throw line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. There is Ed Persia checking back in. Ahmed Al-Nakali sits down. Logan, the freshman, 3 for 5 from the line this year. That's one.
And he's given him a lift off the bench, playing very well tonight, just as he did against Xavier, where he had 8 points and 5 boards.
Got the second. 8 points again here tonight for the freshman, and Princeton again with the 1-point lead as we seesaw back and forth.
And every possession so important because you know there's not going to be a lot of them with Princeton taking the shot clock down.
Billett just 2 for 13 from the floor tonight. Greer off the drive. Good look for Kent.
Well, he was able to draw the defense. Kent was quiet through much of the game. Now all of a sudden coming up with a couple big baskets here late in the game.
He only has 6, but the last 4 have been very important. And John Thompson wants a timeout with 2:06 left to go in the game.
And he takes the timeout not only to set things offensively, but also to get Al-Nakali back into the game. You see Greer right here able to get into the lane, got away with the travel right there, shuffled his feet. Once again, you see good defense by Princeton, but a little bit of a, well, he definitely got away with the walk right there, and Ken able to flush it home.
About 2:06 left to play. Crowd here at Jadwin Gym has gotten used to seeing some terrific things from the Princeton Tigers. NIT bid last year and the year before. A couple of years ago. 27-2 team that won in the first round of the NCAAs and lost in round 2 to Michigan State.
Now 5 consecutive postseason bids for the first time in school history. It's been a terrific run.
Backdoor cut, and Oksani got wise to it, flicked it away over the end line with 21 left on the timer.
And once again, though, Walton, the guy initiating the offense. Good execution out of the timeout. Nearly had another backdoor layup.
Off the inbound. They run it the same if there's a minute 49 left or 12:49 left. Down to 7 on the timer. Al-Nakali on the take. Got it knocked away by Greer.
Wow, terrific man-to-man defense on the basketball by Greer. Stayed right with them. Still able to challenge and get the block.
That is not the play that John Thompson wanted, and now Kevin Bannon is going to call for the timeout. 1:32 left to go in a 1-point game. You are right. Not a lot of possessions to be had here. Each one becomes vital, and this is probably not what they wanted on the Princeton bench.
Well, Nakali having to put the ball to the floor, shot clock winding down. Terrific defense by Greer. You see right there, he holds his ground, separates so he doesn't come up with the foul, Great timing to get all ball on the block.
So now you're Kevin Bannon. Where are you looking?
Well, you got to think that you're going to put the ball in either Jeff Greer or Todd Billett's hands and see what they can do. They've had some success drawing the defense and kicking inside to Kent, but remember, if you put it in Kent's hands, you're inviting the foul, and he's just not good enough on the foul line. So clearly, Greer coming on here in the second half with 8 points, or Billett's a guy you want the ball in his hands, even though Sherrod's been your leading scorer through the game.
You can't give the ball to Kent in this situation.
Nope.
You can let him follow, but you can't give him the ball in this situation because Princeton, obviously playing the percentages, would immediately foul.
Comes Hackashack inside with his foul shooting ability.
Under 90 seconds to play.
And right now, I'd give up the foul. Smart play. As soon as he touches it, go make him, especially the last foul shot he had. Barely hit the backboard, about 4 feet from where the rim is.
Collegiate version of Hackashack coming right now.
Now that's just a smart play. Certainly not what Kevin Bannon was looking for out of the timeout, but clearly the Princeton bench, and good job by John Thompson to tell his team if he touches it, foul him.
Can't get it to fall, and there's the basketball back again. 1:15 to go. Princeton down by 1 with the basketball. As a team, Rutgers just 4 for 11 from the free throw line tonight.
There's 1 minute remaining in the second half.
And now the throwaway by Chapman. Walton was gunning for position down low. He went one way, the ball went the other. The 9th turnover on the Tigers.
And bad entry angle right there by Chapman. Instead of taking the dribble right here to create the space, you see him put it right. Instead of on the floor, take a dribble with the left hand, create a better angle to throw it into the post.
Plenty of time left. 23-second differential between game and shot clock. And now Rutgers takes another timeout with 49.1.
And you know right now Kevin Bannon's saying, hey, look, do not give Kent the ball. I don't care what happens. That's one of the problems when he's on the floor. You really only have 4 offensive players on the floor at that time.
So then do you roll the dice and not put him on the floor and run the risk of not getting the offensive rebound?
Well, that's the thing. You know, if you take him out, you lose maybe an opportunity for him to fight for position, get a tap back to keep the ball alive, or a finish inside. If he's going to be on the floor, you have to let him, and everybody else knows he cannot touch the basketball.
So, Princeton has the possession arrow. Next foul on Princeton will send them to the line for 2. Rutgers still will be shooting 1-1 should Princeton foul in this situation right now. Rutgers has only had 2 leads in this game, and this is one of them. First game with 3:06 left to go. Princeton's biggest lead was 9 points. They had that early here in the second half.
And you got your answer. They take Kent out of the game. They do not want to take the risk of having him go to the line.
That's where you want the ball probably right now. Greer, a little step, and he makes this a 3-point game.
And that's why the senior able to step it up, put it to the floor, and get by people.
And now Thompson calls for the timeout with 34.5 to go. 2.5-second differential between game and shot clock, but Princeton's got to be thinking 3-pointer right here.
Well, especially with as many terrific 3-point shooters as you have. Take a look here at Greer's drive, able to get into the lane. The little hop right there, able to get the finish.
Any question at all in your mind about a traveling violation?
I don't think so. As you see him put the ball to the floor, the little hop around, pretty close as one foot and the other hits. But he's going so quickly to the goal, you usually don't get that call.
Still a lot to be hopeful about for Princeton. A team that really struggled out of the gate this year. Lost to Monmouth to fall to 0-2 in a game they lost by 11 at Boylan Gym. You see 1 timeout each left. But then the wins against Weber State and Ball State, getting them on a little bit of a roll. They lost to Lafayette but came back, and in their home opener on Saturday beat Xavier. And they are right there right now with Rutgers. In fact, have led throughout most of this game.
And we talked about Princeton taking, as you look at the schedule that you just talked about, Talked about Princeton maybe looking for the 3, but still with 34.5 left, you can still go get the quick 2 because Rutgers is not a good foul shooting team. Not only does Kent not shoot the ball well from the line, but you've got some other opportunities as well at just 61%, so you can play that percentage as well. So you got 2 opportunities. If a good 3 presents itself, take it because you got guys that can make the 3. If not, get the quick 2 and try to put them back to the foul line where Rutgers has struggled not only tonight, but all season.
Now, Bechtold among the three-point gunners out there along with Walton breaking huddle. And Rutgers huddle, I guess, would be even more interesting to watch. Kent will break huddle with the Scarlet Knights. And I'll tell you what, if he gets a defensive rebound, he will invite a crowd of white jerseys.
What I'd tell him is you get a rebound, call timeout. Even though you want the clock to run, you don't want him going to the line. He's that bad a foul shooter that you would stop the clock instead of putting him to the line.
Let's see what happens.
Denver Chapman, another guy that can hit from 3, as can El McCollum.
20 seconds left.
Now you really got to start thinking about 3 with the clock winding down.
Logan's thinking about it. Not getting it. Rebound for Walton. Got the putback. 7.7 to go. Kent on the toss in. They can't catch Greer to foul him. And they finally do it. 4.3. It is still 1-and-1 time. And Greer to the line. He will not be able to salt the game away here right now. And a miss on the first would leave the door open for Princeton.
Well, they didn't take the timeout on the made basket. You see right here. It's been Rutgers who's gotten all those second chance points, but a huge second chance put back right there for Princeton.
Check it. It's a 2-shot foul. And that becomes huge right there.
And remember, Princeton still has the timeout left. They did not take it after their last make.
I think they're already calling for the timeout regardless what happens here. El McCauley is down at the other end talking to John Cahill. Gets that one to fall, and Princeton will call for the timeout in a 2-point ball game with 4.3 to go.
You've got 2 thoughts right there about where do you take the timeout. Do you try and inbounds and rush it up to half court and get the timeout? John Thompson and his staff elect to take it on the make. They've now got to go the entire 94 feet, but they still have time with 4.3.
It is a short timeout. Thus the meeting on the floor. 4.3 seconds to go. Scarlet Knights of Rutgers going to try to hang on to a game that they trailed throughout. And Princeton trying to come up with one shot here that could tie or perhaps give them a win.
It's been Rutgers' defense that's matched Princeton's here in the second half, getting them going. They need one more big defensive stand to sneak out with the win.
If you're a Princeton fan, you know you're thinking maybe 3-pointer in the win right now. The stats would most certainly back you up. 3-pointers per game, almost 11. Tonight, only 4. Let's see if the law of averages decides to catch up. Walton keys the inbound. That's Persia. Lost the handle. In some trouble. Got to bomb it. Can't get it. And the Scarlet Knights hang on. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights, who trailed throughout most of the game and were held 24 points below their season average, walk out with a scare. And by the way, keep that trend intact. The visiting team has now won the last 4 in a row in this series as Rutgers hangs on for a 46-44 win.
And a good job to hang in there and just make enough defensive plays down the stretch to get the win.
So Kevin Bannon, an opportunity to celebrate our post-game activity coming up from Jadwin right after this. They don't get a whole lot closer. Rutgers beating Princeton here tonight, even though they trailed throughout the first bunch of the game and only took the lead with 3:06 left to play. They win at 46-44. Let's take you down to Mick Mottinghoff with a happy head coach.
All right, thanks very much, Scott Graham. Joined by Kevin Bannon. And Coach, at one point, trailed by 9 early in the second half, chipped away, and it was your rebounding that got you over the hump here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think all the hustle plays and the gutty things that this team normally does, for whatever reason, I think I call them holiday legs. I think we had some holiday legs in the first half. We just weren't ourselves. And I thought, just go back to playing the way you play. And I thought the guys did that. We were scrappier. We were hard to play against. We dug out rebounds. We drove the basketball. All the things that, we've been doing half decently this year, we got back to doing that. And it made a difference.
You told us early you wanted to get Princeton out of their rhythm. You really weren't able to do that till late in the second half.
No, we really weren't, and I give them a lot of credit. This is a Princeton team that's getting better in leaps and bounds, and I really felt like we could disrupt them a little bit, and we sure didn't do that. But we did at key times. We did down the stretch, and when we needed some key stops, getting them under 5 and getting some stops, I thought our guys did a great job. That's quite an accomplishment to get that team down that low and not let them get a good one off.
Got some great senior leadership down the stretch from Jeff Greer.
Well, we sure did, and I challenged him at halftime to respond. He's done a wonderful job of that this year. He's really been a stand-up guy, an inspirational guy for our team, and let's just say I was a little disappointed with him at halftime, and he really responded. And again, it was just all the hustle things and just doing the little things that Jeff Greer's capable of doing, and it made a big difference in the game.
Finally, it did come to foul shooting. Greer did hit a couple free throws down the stretch, but the team only around 61%. On your edge of your seat a little bit, knowing they were going to put you at the line tonight?
Yeah, we have improved, and we need to improve more in that area. There's no question, but we'll get there.
All right, Kevin Bannock, congratulations on a big win tonight.
Thank you, Mick.
Also joined by Jeff Greer, who hit the big shots down the stretch to get it done. What was going through your mind in the final minutes when it seemed like every time you tie up the ball game, Princeton had an answer?
Well, we just wanted to buckle down and play defense. And I mean, if we missed a shot, we didn't want to focus on that. We just wanted to come down and play defense because we know how good Princeton's offense is. So, I mean, I just wanted to do the little things down the stretch and just help my team and be an inspiration, and that's what happened tonight.
You really took charge and sealed the game down the stretch. You guys wanted to get the ball down inside tonight. You weren't able to do that most of the time until very late.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing really good defense. I think they were packing it in a little bit, and we were missing shots. So, but as the game went on, I think they sort of got a little bit lackadaisical and opened up the defense, and that's what allowed us to drive and just kick it off to our big man.
Nerve-wracking to play in a ball game like this, even though you're a senior?
Well, I think playing against Florida at Florida, I mean, that's a great test for us, and I think it got us geared to come in here and play.
It did come down to free throw shooting, and you were able to hit a couple down the stretch. That's been a bugaboo for this team.
Yeah, I think it's been a bugaboo for the past couple of years, but I think we've improved this year, and we're getting better as games go on. And I think by the end of the season and by the Big East Tournament, we should be all right.
This win get you over the hump a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's a great win for us coming down to Princeton and being a good team.
Well, Jeff Greer, congratulations on a big win here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back courtside, gentlemen.
Well, thank you very much, Mick. And in this ball game tonight, Rutgers did exactly what it had to do to win a ball game. They knew it was going to be a struggle against Princeton tonight. They knew they were going to get a disruption in what they did, and Princeton did a super job in doing all those things tonight. Could not walk away with a victory, and there you see the numbers.
And the number that jumps out is those offensive rebounds. 18 offensive rebounds led to 18 second chance points. It was those hustle plays, those tough, gutty plays that they made down the stretch that gets Rutgers the win.
Another problem is just the 4 for 18 from beyond the three-point arc for Princeton. We showed you the stat, averaging better than 10 three-pointers per game. They were held down tonight.
Well, Rutgers leads the Big East in three-point field goal percentage defense. They did it again tonight, really getting out and challenging those deep shots.
So a win for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Now for our producer, Bob Anderson, our director, John Anderson, Mick Monninghoff, my partner, Rob Kennedy. This is Scott Graham. We thank you for watching. Scarlet Knights on the wings of Jeff Greer. And the leadership from the senior walk out with a 2-point win. Good night, everybody.